Welcome to week 8 of the NFL. And right out the gate, it's time to show you our Monday night experience because Saxton and I and a couple others, Grayson, PJ, and Chandler, we went to the Monday night football game. And so it's time to talk about the big game.
The big game. Chargers versus the Cardinals. But, I mean, this was a little bit of the pictures. I'll show that Greg Dortch touchdown in the editing. I got a video of that. I got it close up, so
And you can see
zoomed in.
the
But
top right, those are our seats, man.
yeah, those were our seats. Actually really good seats for the game. Unfortunately, a lot of the scoring happened on the other end of the field, and a lot of the field goals happened on our side. So I would have loved to see some of the actual scoring, but at the end of the day, it was still a really good game in my opinion. And then this is where we tailgated from. This picture on the left, just like we basically walked straight into the stadium. It was super nice.
We tailgated with Brian, by the way. Booyah.
Yes, booyah.
As many of you might know, you might not be a fan of Booyah at work, but honestly, tailgating with Brian was kind of fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. I actually wish we got there earlier to spend more time with him.
Oh,
but,
I know, yeah. He was so chill outside of work, and
yeah.
he had some pretty good food, too, so
Yes.
that was pretty good.
And then, of course, a little picture of Kai from the Cardinals little video screen they had going on. So getting straight into our first segment is our booms, boom, and dooms of the week. So Kai, give me your first boom, okay?
I think you just said it right there. We're going to go with the Ravens offense. So on the other hand of that Monday Night Football game, we had another Monday Night Football game.
Yes, doubleheader Monday night.
Between the Bucks and the Ravens. And like I said before, this is probably two of the hottest offenses in the league right now, kind of going at it. And the Ravens did not disappoint. I think you got 2 touchdowns out of Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews has come alive.
Yes, PJ.
Suddenly. So shout out to PJ for that, yeah. And just overall, Lamar Jackson, 5 touchdowns in that game.
Yep.
It seems like he's trying to put on another case for an MVP season in the regular season.
Yeah.
We don't know how we'll do in the playoffs, but for now, Ravens have really turned around their season from that shoddy start.
Yeah, I agree. My boom is the Broncos defense. I mean, just their D's.
Whoa.
I just salivate thinking about their D, to be honest.
You like talking about D, I know
I
you
like
do.
talking about D. But yeah, that Broncos defense, Patrick is the owner of them in our league. And even though he lost, he would have lost even bigger if that defense didn't pop off. And that defense has played pretty well this whole season. I think they're averaging about like 14, 15 points per game right now. So
that's really low.
it's all right. And then fantasy points. They're averaging 14, 15 fantasy points.
Oh, wow. Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Wow, you got me thinking. I thought they were like holding teams to 14 points per game.
Yeah.
Which still might be true because their defense.
Yeah, I have
has
no
been
idea how
excellent.
true that is. But and then my other boom of the week is just the games that we shouted out previously, or
Exactly,
those Packer versus Houston. That was a great game. Even though C.J. Stroud only passed for like 80 yards, Joe Mixon had a great game on the ground. And I think that Packers offense really showed like what they can be against a good team. So I liked that. And then Lions versus Vikings, it came down to the field goal. You saw Jesse Bates fucking hit the "We bring the boom." That's what we do. And that's another reason why that's my boom of the week.
Now we move on to some of the dooms, of course.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're a fantasy owner of Marvin Harrison right now, or just a Marvin Harrison fan in general, like most of us, he just has not been performing as Maserati Marv. Some people are calling him Mitsubishi Marv. Yeah,
that is.
It's tough right now.
Yeah.
Really tough right now. We really probably need, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator or whoever's calling plays, but you have to.
Yeah, they're just not getting him involved enough, in my opinion.
He has to get involved. He has to get open. You got to do whatever you can to get him touches.
And then my doom of the week is Miami's offense. So a little bit of some statistics for you, especially without Tua. So 27th offense overall, 30th in passing yards, 32nd in red zone percentage, and 32nd in touchdowns scored. So dead last in those categories, the Miami offense is.
I thought Tyler Huntley was a Pro Bowler, man.
Yeah. Just without Tua, we've really seen the importance of Tua, actually. I think that's a good way to put it, put a positive spin on things. But one more brain injury and he's a pile of mush. So
Yeah, well,
praying for Tua, but that Miami offense, even with Tyreek Hill, can't do much without him.
I think with their point though, with Tua, here's the thing. I think with the offense, Tua still does good, but I think the offense could be so much better with a quarterback better than Tua.
Oh yeah.
I think Tua keeps the team serviceable, but honestly, when you have Tyreek and Jalen Waddle, man,
You should be doing way more.
If you put any great quarterback into there, honestly, they would probably be throwing for 5,000 yards.
Yeah, I just think that their offense is so Tua centric that it's when Tua's not playing, it's very hard to get their offense going.
Yeah, the system
Because
really
everything revolves around Tua in that offense. And then I'll let Kai do the last doom of the week.
Yeah, I think a lot of us are kind of concerned about it, but the Niners' injuries are just piling up week after week. Obviously, they started off the season really, really shorthanded by losing Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
And then Jordan Mason has been kind of injured lately, and now you know that Brandon Ayuk is out for the season.
Brandon Ayuk is out for the season, which granted, like, he hasn't been playing well.
But you pay
but
him.
You're paying him, and then he gets injured. And then also you have Deebo Samuel, who got an illness and is likely out, I think, again this week.
Yeah.
So I can't remember what it is that he got sick with, but yeah. I mean, and he looked fat as shit. Like, he looked fat.
It's not the same Niners team.
Yeah, it's not the same. George Kittle is playing well, so, I mean, I'll take that. But
the defense hasn't looked the same either.
Yeah, I think they're just going to double up on George Kittle and try to shut down that offense as much as possible. But also they're playing, not the Niners, the Cowboys this upcoming week. And they play well away for some reason, so we'll see. Okay, so this is a little game that we're going to play. We're going to build our dream fantasy teams as of now.
So what's going to... Injuries do apply, is what we're saying.
Yeah, injuries do apply, especially those season-ending ones. But we already have a team drafted out. We're just going to go back and forth and say who we picked, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm first, and I took... I'll fill it in all later, but I took Lamar Jackson.
You're going to take Lamar Jackson with your first pick?
Yep.
Why is that?
I mean, shit, he just had a 5-touchdown game. How could you not pick him first overall with your number one spot?
All right, then. Since I snake here, I'll take Josh Allen with my pick.
And it does go snake.
Yeah,
so he gets a QB and then a running back.
I do think, Josh Allen can still be that quarterback. Obviously, I think Lamar is going to be a lot more fantasy friendly. But yeah, I'll take Josh Allen here. And then after that, giving me the counterpart to Lamar Jackson, I'm going to take Derrick Henry, bro.
Yeah, that's
the king himself.
That's the one thing that sucks about being the first pick is you can't get Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with Anthony's running back core right here, and I'm just going to take Saquon and Bijan.
Ooh. Dude, that's a pretty solid running back core.
Yeah. They had a great games last week, so.
I know. And you know what? I might have to go Jack's running back core right here. I'm going with Breece Hall, Derrick Henry and Breece Hall. Both consistent fantasy guys.
And then
right
you
there.
also get your wide receiver.
Honestly, when I'm thinking of my fantasy team right now, I'm just thinking about all the guys that I've been trying to trade for, which has been Derrick Henry and Breece Hall. But my receiver, Jamar Chase, that's who I'm going to go with.
Nice. Okay. And then for my two receivers, I'm going Malik Neighbors because he's coming back and he's been fed.
Wow,
just
really?
straight fed. So I'm going Malik Neighbors.
He didn't have a great game against the Eagles, to be honest.
Did he play last week?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's probably why I don't remember that. But it's fine. I'll take Malik Neighbors.
Ooh.
That Eagles defense is tough anyway.
That's going to be your first receiver?
And I'm going to take Amon-Ra.
Wow.
Rah, rah, ooh, rah, rah.
I don't know, guys. It started off pretty strong with Lamar. And you know what? He gave me a gimme right here. I'm going to go with Justin Jefferson,
Yeah, I
dude.
totally forgot about that.
Oh, my goodness. Jamar and Jay Jettis, bro, the LSU boys.
That's actually kind of cool to have Jamar, Justin Jefferson. If I had that as my wide receiver core, that would be sick. But
And then
for my flex,
I'm going back to back.
oh yeah. You are back to back. So
I
who
am
you
back
go?
to back. So you know what? I'm gonna take another. I think an under the radar receiver right now. I'm gonna go with Drake London.
That's a good
Even
pick.
though the Falcons have had some bad weeks, Drake London has solidified himself as a wide receiver one.
Yeah, and I just like to add, there's a reason why Jack is number 1 in our fantasy league, and it's because you basically have his whole team right now.
Yeah,
Like you
I
have
basically just
Derrick
go-
Henry, Brees Hall, and Drake London.
Combined with my Josh Allen and Jamar
Yeah, so
and
That's pretty
Grayson-
nasty.
And Grayson's Justin Jefferson, dude.
yeah.
This is kind of fun.
So I did pick for flex. I did pick Nico Collins. He is out, so I'll do like a Nico Collins / Kyron Williams. But
Ooh, yeah. I think you
I
gotta go
did
Kyron
pick
there.
I did pick Nico originally, but he is injured. So I'll take what I can get. I'll take Nico, and he's still gonna be a great receiver after his injury, so I'm not worried about it.
Oh,
But
yeah.
and then I get to go tight end, and this is the only player that I actually have, and that's George Kittle.
Oh,
George Kittle, number 1 tight end. There's a lot of value in that tight end position right now when it comes to that top 3 to 5. And after that, I think it's a bit of a fall off.
really?
So I'm going to take George Kittle.
He doesn't know my boy Brock Bowers then, dude. Because Brock Bowers, he has been consistent week to week. I mean, they love their tight ends in Las Vegas. Pause. No Diddy pause. But yeah, Brock Bowers, honestly, not a lot of people talking about him. Some people, they know how good Brock Bowers is, but I think he has lived up to the hype so far. And then after
I agree.
that,
I agree.
I'm going to go with the defense that, for fantasy-wise, I'm going to just go with the Vikings defense. If I had to
Yeah.
stick with one team for the rest of the season, I'm going to take the Vikings. I think Brian Flores is an excellent defensive coordinator, and they're going to get you at least 10 points every week.
I get that. That's solid, especially when you want to have a defense that's just consistent.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not streaming, if you're not I
Picking
get it,
one every
Minnesota, yeah. So my defense that I picked is Denver.
That
They've
was a
had a
good
couple
one.
of really good weeks. I kind of mentioned that earlier with the boom of the week is Denver's defense. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna pick them
I don't even think
for my
about Denver.
defense. And then my kicker, I'm going Brandon Aubrey.
Damn, that's my kicker, dude.
So that's Kai's kicker, in our league. But I'll pick Brandon Aubrey.
Dude, Brandon Aubrey's that guy gets at least 10 points every week. Honestly, for a kicker, he's probably more valuable than some tight ends that people have.
Yeah.
He might even be more valuable than a flex. If you could put a kicker in the flex, I'm putting Brandon Aubrey. But unfortunately, I can't take him here. I'm gonna go with Austin Seibert.
And dude, I don't even know who that is.
He doesn't know him. He doesn't.
I don't know ball.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know
Who's
ball.
that?
That's the Washington Commanders kicker.
Okay, I was gonna
And-
say it was
and-
someone in that kind of division, but
All right. But you know what?
now, moving on, I'll update all of these, or we can update them right now if you want.
No, we
No.
got that then. Yeah.
So now, bringing it back.
Whose team do you guys think is gonna be the best? By the way.
Yeah.
fantasy.
So whose team? Obviously, you can't see it if you can remember it. I might try to edit something in there where I can get those in, but
Which team would you guys want?
Which team would you guys go for? Okay. Leave your comments down below. Whose team's better, mine or Kai's?
Let us know if
maybe-
there are any snubs too.
Let us know if there's any
we miss
snubs.
any
Who
picks?
would you put in instead? Like I said, I think Kyron was a bit of a snub for a flex spot, but that's fine. Because then Nico would get snubbed. There's so many great players in the NFL, so it's really hard to say, oh, well, this guy's snubbed because he's not
Just let us know.
Yeah, just let us know.
We
Hit
want
us
to
up.
hear you.
Okay, moving on to the blessing wheel. Kai, what do you got to say about the blessing
Yeah.
wheel so far?
So honestly, we're bringing the blessing wheel back because so far the blessing wheel has gone 2 for 2. The very first installment of the blessing
2-0.
wheel, yeah,
2-0.
2-0 you could say, but it hit me with the blessing wheel, and because of it, I notched a half-point win over Brian that week. And then just this week, obviously the blessing wheel went to Kyle, and guess what, Kyle? You secured your very first win in fantasy this week. Congratulations. You're in the winners column.
It's a great place to be.
Exactly. Who knows? Obviously, you're not in the blessing wheel this week because now it's come down to all the losers of this
Yes,
week will be in
so
there.
this week's contestants are everyone that lost this previous week. So I think we should just get straight into it.
All right.
Straight
There
into
are
it.
your contestants there, though. Mason.
Yep.
Mason doesn't need it, but, with a little bit of the injuries going on, he did lose
Yeah.
Debo Samuel. He's going to lose him for a couple of weeks. I think he's been trying to ship Devontae Adams because he hasn't looked the
Yeah.
greatest in that Jets debut, and the Jets seem like a mess of a team. So, who knows? Maybe
Yeah.
a little blessing wheel could bring back Debo Samuel.
That would be kind of nice. That would be kind of nice. Let's just get it going. Let's see who gets blessed. Looks like it's Jay.
Ooh, it's gonna
So
be
who's Jay playing? Let's see who Jay's playing. Because this is also simultaneously a curse wheel
for whoever's going against
for
Jay.
whoever's going against Jay. So he's going against Chandler.
Chandler, back-to-back weeks
And
now.
Chandler has a 64% chance to win right now.
Sounds like some good odds for the blessing wheel right there, Jay.
Yeah. So, I mean, that week 8 matchup, Chandler, if you can defy the blessing wheel, you'll be the first to do it. But Jay,
as of right
things
now,
are looking good.
yeah.
Maybe your blessing is Chandler's downfall and, a couple of players get injured for Chandler or something, but we'll see. So we got Jay that won the blessing wheel. And now we're going to go on to our favorite segment.
The fantasy wheel.
The fantasy wheel.
And our little recap of last week's fantasy wheel, though.
So what happened last week, Kai?
I
don't even want to know what happened last
won.
week. That was, yep.
I won. This is week 7's.
Yeah, so...
It honestly looked good at first. Brock Purdy versus Andy
looked
Dalton.
quite fair.
Look at the quarterbacks there. That was a huge gap. Panthers...
everything was a huge gap.
Panthers barely even played. They
basically put on a JV performance. Like, it was pretty bad.
And you only get 2 points. And surprisingly, Brock Purdy put up 20 points despite the Niners' loss. And they only put up 18 points on offense. But it all came from Brock Purdy. So he puts up 20 points there.
Yep.
Maybe Austin Eckler can save you. Maybe Devon Achane stinks the bed. I guess not.
And then Rashad Bateman with the... that whole offense just went nuclear.
That was wild. You would have never asked me to expect 24 points out of Rashad Bateman, but this is why we do the fantasy wheel. Because you get a pick like Rashad Bateman, and he puts up 24 points.
Yep. And then that means, I think, you're up 3-2 in the fantasy wheel now. I think
it's
or
2-2 now.
Is it 2-2?
We're 2-2. We're 2-2, guys.
That is true, okay. It's 2-2. So this week decides who goes up.
And who knows, maybe by the end of the season, maybe there's a little prize for the winner or a punishment for the loser.
I'd like a prize, if you know what I'm saying.
All right. Anyways, then, we're going to get into the quarterbacks of this week. And honestly, there's some really interesting picks here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so we were talking earlier, and we're like, well, Patrick Mahomes, he hasn't been playing that well, so 18.4. He's gone for 14 points the past couple weeks.
I know. Would you want Patrick is what I'm saying?
While I wouldn't use my skip on Patrick, I don't necessarily want him. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Guys I want, Lamar, Caleb, Jared Goff are kind of my big three. I would say yes to Tua and Dak, but honestly, ultimately, I don't think I'd skip any of these guys.
Not too many tough picks here, but a lot of guys that could really underperform here. I'll be honest. Dak Prescott against San Francisco. Maybe the San Francisco defense can
step it up, try.
We've never seen a good game, honestly, from Dallas against San Francisco. We've seen it year after year, even in the playoffs. Like, San Francisco has consistently owned Dallas, so that could be a scary pick.
Yeah, and I think the one thing here is that being away for the Cowboys actually, I think, does them a service in this scenario because I feel like every time they're at home, they play like shit.
Ooh,
so
Jerry's wheel
has not been good for the Stars. So I think that being away actually helps them in this. But let's just spin the wheel and see what happens.
All right, then.
We'll go you first.
Yeah, that's how it's always been. I'm always first. I'll get the first look. I like to dip my toes in the pool before I get in. Just kidding. I dive straight in because I'm gonna get.
Oh. Dude, like I said, none of these quarterbacks are actually that bad. This is, do you believe they will play well? Wow.
See, I was just talking shit about Dak, and now you just gave me Dak Prescott. I'm gonna have to hype him up now. I'm trying to be optimistic. I'm thinking like, ooh, maybe San Francisco's defense
Maybe
isn't that
CD Lamb
good.
has a coming out game this season.
Oh, but at
He's
the
had a
same
couple of alright
time,
games.
I think about previous matchups between Cowboys
These
and
two
San
teams.
Francisco, and man, you know what though? There's not much better options here. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
settle with Dak. But like you said, man, honestly, even though these quarterbacks look safe, like Andy Dalton did, he looked a little
Yeah,
safe.
he looked safe, but just ended up shitting the bed.
And then
Which, by the way, Andy Dalton, car crash. So Bryce Young is going to be starting this week.
That is unfortunate. I did
Yeah.
hear about that.
He got in a car crash with his kids. Everyone was fine. I heard that from an inside source.
That's unfortunate for Andy Dalton, man. Let's see who you get now.
And I get Patrick Mahomes.
Ooh, probably two of the shakiest quarterbacks. These are the two
Yeah.
quarterbacks that
That we were both like, oh, they're good, but what's going to happen?
the biggest booms and busts of the week.
Yeah,
I think
so like
could go
I
to
said,
these two quarterbacks.
I'm going to stick with Patty Mahomes.
Really? Really? You're feeling Mahomey?
I'm feeling Mahomes first, or he's at Las Vegas.
Yes, he is. Who knows? Max Crosby could give him nightmares this week.
Okay. Yeah, if he gets sacked.
Now you get the running backs. Ooh.
So I'm up for running backs. We have a couple of really good options
You could
here.
get your boy Kyron, yeah.
Could get Kyron. Could get Rashard White, who just had a really good game. A little inconsistent this season, but
His
just had a really
receiving
good
work
game.
is what helps.
Yep. DeAndre Swift has had a couple of good games this season. Nick Chubb just came off injury last week and scored a touchdown. Joe Mixon's having a really good season so far, proving a lot of people wrong, including myself. Justice Hill, if he gets some receiving work done in Cleveland, then he'll have above 6 points.
Oh, yeah.
But I think he's more of a receiving back, and
you don't get Derrick Henry.
you don't
Justice
get Derrick
Hill.
Henry. You get the budget
Justice
version
Hill,
of
yeah.
Justice Hill. Brent Allen and Ramondre are kind of
Same.
for me.
Braylon Allen, the budget. Brees Hall. I'm surprised he's projected 7.5.
Yeah. So are there any guys where you get them and you skip? I think I'm not taking Brain Allen, Justice Hill, or Ramondre.
Wow.
But I'll
Not
take
even
Chubb.
Ramondre.
Yeah, I mean,
He had the infamous negative point week against
like
the Jets.
negative 0.7. I don't like that. So let's spin. I'll take DeAndre Swift. I think that's nice. I'll take Nick Chubb.
I hope you get Justice Hill.
I'll take Joe Mixon. That's perfect.
Whoa.
That is a great.
That's a good running back. That's a good running back right there. Oh, that's brutal.
We got Joe Mixon.
That is brutal. Joe Mixon versus Indiana. That is a good running back right there. Wow. It's a good running back.
All right, that is a great running back.
He's
You wanna
missed
go?
weeks and he comes back and drops 20. Ooh, Saxton's going to spin for me.
Yes, I just put some good luck on my fingers. So, oh, you got Nick Chubb. That is not bad. But he is playing Baltimore.
Man. How do I feel about Baltimore's defense? And how do I feel about Nick Chubb with Jameis Winston under center? They're going to have to run the ball a little
Yeah, I was
bit.
about to say they're gonna feed Chubb, in my opinion.
That's my
That was
guy right
funny. I
there.
saw a sleeper notification that was
That's my guy right there.
God, who's the player that plays for the Pacers now? He was like the third pick for the Warriors a couple years ago.
James Wiseman.
James Wiseman. I saw something for him where he got injured. I was like, Jameis Winston got injured? What the hell?
Wow.
Totally blip. All right.
Now we got the receivers.
Now we got receivers. So a couple of guys here in Greg Dortch and Lil Jordan Humphrey.
That's my guy right there, little Jordan Humphrey.
If I get Lil Jordan Humphrey, I will keep him. Wow. I will keep Lil Jordan Humphrey for the meme. I'll get rid of Greg Dortch. I have my thing going. So I might get rid of Jordan Addison or Xavier Worthy if I get him. Try to get AJ Brown.
Really? I don't blame you. You do got your skip still.
And you have your skip too.
We do. It comes down to the receivers now.
Yep. And then you're all good.
I'm gonna spin this time.
Yeah, he's spinning. I'll let you spin for me too.
No, I don't move like that. Dude.
Ooh, Tyreek versus Arizona.
Like, this is the highest projected guy,
Yes, he has the highest projection
but
this
but
week.
Tyreek Hill does not play like the highest projected guy
Right now.
because he put up a fat 2 points last week.
Yeah.
Man, with Tua, it's not guaranteed that Tua plays, but Tyreek Hill, guys, what do you think? Am I an idiot for taking Tyreek Hill? I mean, the 19 points projected just looks so enticing. And I could easily respin and end up with Greg Dortch. But is Greg Dortch better than Tyreek Hill? Last week's performance would say so.
Yeah, Greg George did have a touchdown.
All right, then. I'm going to still stick with Tyreek, though.
That's smart.
No spins. No respins here. I'm going balls to the wall with my guys. I got my team hyped up.
Let's
Look at the
go.
stars.
Yeah, I mean, you have a great team going into this.
Everybody's going to have stars this week, dude.
Yep, we decided to buff the wheel a little bit, make it a little more fun.
Even little Jordan Humphrey, he's a star.
And I got A.J. Brown. I think this week is
Honestly,
going to be
that was the receiver that I wanted when I
This is
saw
going to be
Tyreek
a
Hill.
really good week.
Oh, you're sticking with it?
Oh, yeah. I'm sticking it to
Is
A.J.
that
Brown.
the best receiver on the board there for you?
I think he's the best receiver on the board currently.
Yeah, against Cincy's defense, I don't blame you.
A little bit of a shoddy secondary from Cincinnati. So I think it's a smart pick versus Cincinnati. I think he might be at Cincinnati, but that's besides the point. Yeah,
Anyways,
he's at Cincinnati.
there it is for our fantasy wheel this week. Sponsored by Jerkmate.
As per usual.
Let us know, guys. Who do you think's winning the fantasy wheel? And going back, which fantasy team would you pick? Personally,
Yes.
give me my team. My team is so much
Well,
better.
of course. Yeah. I actually kind of do like your team a lot. I got to look at it again up here.
Come on, guys.
I like your team, and I'll give you a quick rundown of each team, okay? So my team is Lamar, Saquon, and Bijan. So we got PJ's quarterback and Anthony's running backs. And then we got Malik.
Mid.
Malik and Amit Raw.
Mid.
At my flex spot, I have Nico Collins, technically.
Injured.
But we'll take Kyron there. And then tight end, I have George Kittle.
Old.
No. And then my defense is Denver, and my kicker is Brandon Aubrey.
All right.
Yeah, they're all right. And then Kai's team, we got Josh Allen, my MVP pick.
Mm-hmm.
Derrick
Look at
Henry.
that. He's even glazing my team. Come on, guys. This is so easy. Pick my
Derrick
team.
Henry, who could be Offensive Player of the Year. Brees Hall, also a great option. Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson,
Oh,
like
yeah.
you said, those LSU boys.
Oh, my gosh.
Drake London.
Oh, it's over.
And Brock
It's so over
Bowers.
for you.
And then we got Minnesota as your defense and Austin Seibert as your kicker. And maybe we go back in next week and see who did the best off of this. We could do something like that. But I think I like both teams. Either way, if you have a team like either of these, you're winning your fantasy games
Oh,
most
yeah,
of the
obviously.
time.
But rest of the season,
But-
guys, you know my team would win your league. You know it would.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Any of these guys. If you even have one of these guys on your team, you're feeling confident. But that's it. That's the video for today. A little bit of a quicker one. I think we kind of ran through stuff, but that's okay.
Good luck to you guys in fantasy. Yeah.
Yes, good luck to everyone in fantasy this week. Remember, who won the blessing wheel? Why am I blanking? It's Jay.
Mm-hmm.
Jay won the fantasy wheel. He's playing Chandler. So I think this is going to be a great week for fantasy. Week 8. Week 7 was obviously fantastic. That Chargers-Cardinals game. And we'll see you guys next week.
See ya.
Bye.